All right. So, from her video, Aga Anojka actually highlighted 5 things to consider when planning for socially distant classrooms. And what are those? She mentioned about transition, she mentioned about environment, relationship, teaching and learning, collaboration, and communication. When we mention transition, we are looking at how we are going to support our learners in moving to the new normal education. When we say learners, we are actually referring to not only our students but also our teachers. Because with this crisis, we have been experiencing a lot of changes from the time that we were locked down at home, and we need to forcefully and then suddenly change our approach to teaching by connecting to our students using different platforms like Zoom. And I know that it's very stressful to teachers, and it's also very stressful to a lot of students and parents who are not even familiar with all this application. Especially in the Philippines, I know, because this is the first time I believe that some of the schools have started only using this application or technology to run a classroom or a lesson. So, how do we support these learners? How do we support our students and our teachers so that they'll be able to transition into the new normal education? We need to look at their well being. Environment, when we say environment, this has something to do with the preparation of the home as the student's classroom when they will be learning at home. Since distance learning, they have to stay at home. How are they going to prepare their classroom environment at home in such a way that they'll be able to focus on their lesson? Relationship. How do we build relationship with peers, with colleagues, with our students when we can't even come closer to them, when we are only seeing them virtually? Or if this is a synchronous learning, we have less time or limited time to actually connect with our students. So how are we going to build this relationship? Teaching and learning. Will there be changes in our teaching and learning strategies? Some of the teaching and learning strategies that we are using in face-to-face method or approach may not be applicable when we are using an asynchronous learning, because it will definitely need a lot of self-independent learning among our students. Collaboration and communication. How significant is it to connect with our parents, to work together with people of different opinions so that we will be able to plan out our lessons or learning experiences effectively for our students? How much communication do we need? And who do we need to communicate and collaborate? Moving forward, the last activities that you have just done are actually an introductory activity to assess our understanding of new education, to assess our understanding of education and technology, and at the same time, to just give you an overview of the things that we are going to face in the future and we need to actually prepare for it. So, our session 1 is about designing learning experiences to support well-being. Earlier, I have spoken about transition. And during the transition period, we need to prepare our learners, which are the students and teachers, physically, emotionally, socially, mentally, and spiritually. Or in short, we need to make sure that we support every person's well-being while we are transitioning into a new experience that each and every one of us will encounter. It is not only the experience of the students, it is not only the experience of the teachers, and more so we need to involve the parents' well-being as well. So, how are we going to do this? In today's session, these are our targeted objectives: to explore the building blocks of well-being for teachers and learners, to engage in activities that support a mindset for well-being, and also to identify elements of social emotional learning that enhance learning, teaching, and living. For this particular session, I decided to use the golden circle of Simon Sinek to carry out the flow of my presentation. Because according to Simon Sinek, a successful business always starts with the question why. We need to dig deeper on the reason of why we are doing it so that we identify or we dig out the purpose of why we need to do certain actions that we need to do in the future instead of focusing on the what's and also on the hows. So, this session will focus on why do we need to support the well-being of our learners and how we're going to support the well-being of our learners and what are the expected outcome that we are actually looking for when we support the well-being of our students and also our teachers